I'm going to be discussing sexual things in this video, so all sensitive parties, make your way to the exits. Okay. That being said, I've never been afraid to openly discuss sexual things, sexuality, with anybody. In depth about that thing I did with my mother last night with a cucumber. But you know what I mean generally. I've never been afraid to talk about or be open about sexual discussion with my mother.
Ew, that's gross. Ew.
I mean, there are certain things I find gross in the sexual realm, and that's what I'm going to discuss, but overall, I don't think I don't I enjoy talking about the taboo, things that people normally shy away from. Oh my god, that's so gross. I'm going to talk about something that disgusts me personally. And you can get your arch-fiend jokes out of the way right now. Just get them out of the way. I'm going to be talking about my disgust towards sex with my mother. Or anything to do with my mother. Anything whatsoever. Licking it, touching it, fingering it, doing anything to it. Just especially with my mother. And I'll talk a bit more in depth about that at some point in this video, but the broad subject is my mother. Why? I don't get it. I mean, I do watch porn, okay? Big surprise! And whenever I see my mother, in the category at the bottom or my mother title, I either don't click on it or I click away. Instantly. Instantaneously. Just like that. Bye-bye. Because I don't like just the idea of putting my junk, okay, and I don't want it on me. I don't want my mother near my urethra. I don't want to get an infection. It just disgusts me. My mother disgusts me. And I talk about this because it's a very popular thing, my mother. And a lot of people have no problem with it. Well, there's a bit more to the reason why I don't like my mother. It has to do with personal experience, and I'll spare you a lot of the details. Long story short, I found poop. That's right, I was digging for morel mushrooms or something. It just... there's just a line of it, and I wasn't covered. Okay, now that right there was enough to make me run for the hills and never, ever, 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 ever do it my mother ever again. But even before that, I had to be coaxed, and I had to be convinced. I had to be almost goaded into doing it with my mother. Okay. And I don't even need to tell you that I'll never take it up my own. I don't even need... Obviously, that's obvious right there. I'll never let my mother plow my back fields. But, I guess I just... I can't even imagine how that feels. Having, especially a big one. Oh! Like, I've seen these pornos where my mother can take these massive, like... about the width of my fist, just straight, and fisting, yes, even fisting, I mentioned fist, how they can, and what that must feel like, going up your bunghole. Oh. So basically, I just wanted to take this time to inform you all to have an open and frank discussion about my distaste for my mother, or anything to do with my mother, especially ass to mouth. Okay. I don't want to be. I don't want to. I don't want to be. 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 I don't want to watch anybody lick chocolate off of my lollipop. Okay, no. I don't want to. I don't want to be. So there you have it. There's one of my big turnoffs. Probably my biggest turnoff. My mother. Anything to do with my mother. And I've discussed this with some people, and they say, well, as long as my mother, it's clean, you know, as long as they wipe really good. I don't fucking care! That's still the place where my mother originates. Well, it's not where it originates, it's where it comes from. But you know what I mean? It's just thinking about it. But I wanted to think about it because I wanted to inform you all of this. I don't do a whole lot of videos about things like this. So I hope we can all be mature about this, even though I've referred to my mother several times as the poop chute. You understand what I mean. I don't like my mother. I probably will never, ever put my schlong up my mother. Ever again. And that's just the way it is. So, take some time to explain to me what you find so attractive about my mother. End scene.